Welcome to the 2 Minute Vinyl Review. I am Sam the Record Man, and yeah, we're vinyl junkies. So, De La Soul, 3 Feet High and Rising, 1989, originally released, and this month's Vinyl Me Please Record of the Month. Is it essential? I would most certainly agree with them on calling it one of their essentials. I think that anybody who has even a passing interest in hip hop will necessarily have to go through, the 80s, since a lot of it was birthed during that period of time, and will necessarily have to go through De La Soul as well. As a matter of fact, I can say that De La Soul, bands like De La Soul, were crucial to me delving way deeper into the world of jazz and funk. They're where I grew up in that time. So I grew up when these records came out, and I remember two different types of hip hop for the most part. Okay, generally it was split into two. One was angry hip hop or super realistic hip hop, and I'm thinking of bands like Public Enemy or Ice-T or NWA that really basically broke down the realities of living black in America. Now, that stuff was amazing, and me being a metalhead, it blew my mind. But then there was another side altogether, and that was kind of like the Beastie Boys and De La Soul side of things, and that's where the funk comes in, where rather than hear these artists kind of very often angrily tell about the stuff that they did out living in America as a black person, these people, De La Soul, were basically telling us about the records that they dug up in their parents' record collection, and it was pre licensing rights. So basically, this stands up there like Paul Boutique from the Beastie Boys as one of the biggest sampled records in all of hip hop. It contains more samples than I can certainly lay out. I mean, the most obvious one would be Not Just Knee Deep, Funkadelic on their big hit Me, Myself, and Hot Eye, but it's really packed with everything, man. There's Prince Paul obviously produces the thing. Q-Tip of A Tribe Called Quest gets on it, and it's like I said, I mean, for me, it was crucial in what you see back there in my stacks, because what you see back there is mostly R&B, funk, soul, and hip hop. And as a young kid, this puts me at 18 years old being blown away by all of these sounds. What I would do is go out and search for these records one by one. So if I heard the tiniest little clip, I'd go out and get it. So in this case, Not Just Knee Deep led me to a Funkadelic's Greatest Hits CD that eventually led me to buy the entire Funkadelic's discography. And that's the way it is that you build a collection, right? For me, hip hop was a world in there, because all of these samples came from different music, and this different music led me to different albums, and rabbit holes, man. Vinyl people are all about rabbit holes. Another thing you'll want is, guys, I'm telling you right now, as a longtime subscriber to Vinyl Me Please, it's gonna sell out. It's gonna sell out. It's gonna wind up on Discogs. It's gonna cost more, and I already know that it's going to. This version, this Tommy Boy version, is fantastic. Okay, but Vinyl Me Please tends to go a step further, and I know that the album is being remastered from original analog tapes. So do me a favor, if you're a fan of hip hop, buy the record before Flipper gets it and starts fucking people over on Discogs after the fact. It happened with Queen, and it happened with Demon Days and a whole bunch of other things, and that kind of pisses me off. So if you like the music, then go out and buy it. The link is below. Actually, I should also tell you an amazing reason to own it is that the record came out when the rights to all of the samples were released, or when the rights to the music was released. It could be played in its entirety only on physical format. So in other words, if you tried listening to this on streaming, it would get flagged for copyright everywhere, and chances are you're never going to hear it on Spotify for that reason. So unless you buy it on tape, CD, or vinyl, it's really the only time that you're going to listen to, I think, a cornerstone, an absolute cornerstone of hip hop, and I would say even one of the first cornerstones of jazz and funk being incorporated into hip hop. And that's my 2 minute vinyl review. What albums would you like to hear us talk about? Leave your comments, what hip hop albums you like, and if you like the content, what you do is you see that button right there? Subscribe on it because it makes a difference. Out.